Hello everyone, it's been a hot minute, hasn't it, since I uploaded a video. It's been about a month, and it's not to say that I'm bored with Star Citizen, just to reiterate to the channel, if you're new to the channel, that's far from it. It's just we're in that lovely no man's land between patches, and we have had 3.17, we've had the 3.17 fix patch, where they fix things, although I understand there's still a few problems. So yeah, we're just waiting for 3.18 to come out now. We're on the precipice of 3.18 and the lovely emergence of the first iteration of the server meshing technology, as well as a dearth of new features like salvaging, which is going to be fantastic, and some more spaceships like salvaging ships. Maybe we'll get some fun with a reclaimer going, if I can join Ollie and stuff. So yeah, that's why I haven't released much content, because as I've said previously, I don't like to recycle stuff that's already been done just to show you stuff. But I figured I'd do something fun for a change whilst I'm trying to make some Star Citizen content and not get sucked back into the void that is Final Fantasy XIV, because I've been playing it a lot, and I'm also low-key looking for an FC in the EU, so if there's anyone in the FC who needs an person, hit me up, because running around the NA data centre and petting Pint on the head repeatedly is getting a little bit withering. So, what are we going to do today? I am in this RSI spacesuit that I've been saving for a video, because I didn't just want to make a video on them, even though I think they are fantastic. So these are the Zeus Suits from Robert Space Industries. They're basically like the futuristic version of a NASA EVA suit, and I think they're incredible. They are classed as heavy armor, so they're very capable of charging into a bunker and just mowing everyone down with them. So they have the same 40% damage reduction that heavy armor does. They aren't sort of temperature resistant. I know there's a better way I can phrase that, but to say that in a more compatible way, they don't protect you from extreme heat and they don't protect you from extreme cold. Oh, there we go, now they're all splitting up. But they sit in the middle ground, and they give you protection from like a decent way either end, but not to the extreme. So what are we going to do with this new Zeus suit that I have? Well, thanks to the lovely people who used my referral code, and the many of you have been doing that, thank you so much, I got the referral bonus. In fact, I've had both the referral bonuses that we've had. So I have a Dragonfly, and I got given the CO Hoverquad as well, so the Consolidated Outland Hoverquad. I have never used a Hoverquad, so that's what we're going to do. We're just going to prat about on one of these Hoverquads, probably until I die, and I have to do a character reset to get my suit back. But that's half the fun of Star Citizen. So, I don't know if I'm going to do it on Microtech. I want to. I can't tell if the sun's going up or coming down, so I may have to stop this as an intro video and then just do it in a bit. But I want to go to the river and try and do the river run again in a hoverquad in the Chonky Spacesuit. So, let's see what we can do. Okay, so I'm here at the garage on Microtech with the hoverquad. I have to admit, it's a bit bigger than I thought it was going to be. But saying that, the NOx kind of looks massive when someone isn't on it. It just looks like a very futuristic jet ski to me. Being around the water a lot, it definitely brings back vibes of a jet ski. So let's get on this thing and get it into my Cutlass. It's dark outside at the moment, but hopefully by the time we get this thing into the Cutlass and get to the river, we should be good to go, and it should be daytime. We shall see. Someone's very responsibly parked their 300i outside, as you can see. Let's do this for a little spin around here, actually. Oh, this is quick! A lot quicker than I thought it would be. This thing accelerates almost as fast as the NOx, and the NOx is supposed to be the quickest. Nearly slammed into my own Cutlass then. Let's get this thing inside before I cause an accident. Okay, as you can see, my Cutlass is in terrible shape, because I've just had a huge firefight with another Cutlass that was hovering over the NPC encampment a bit further down the river. Interesting to see if they shoot at us later. But we are finally here. So, now we can have a quick look and turn this lovely, thick astronaut into a wonderful floating motorcycle pilot. So let's go and have some fun and see if we can do this without blowing up this time. And whilst we're going down there, we can talk about 3.18 stuff, because there is so much to do in 3.18 that's coming up, so it's going to be good fun. Right. this thing is jittery as all hell, so I imagine this thing feels even more jittery than the Nox, so I'm sure this is going to be fun. Oh my word. It feels so much snappier than the Nox, which is quite strange. Right, let's try not to crash. So, 318. What have we got? We've got salvaging, which is going to be one of the big things. So, we've got the Drake Venture. Is it the Venture? The Vulture? It's not the Vulture, it is the Venture, I think. I can never remember the bloody names. I always get them mixed up, especially with the ships from EVE Online, because it looks like the mining ship from EVE. Yes, that's going to be great fun, learning how to do strip mining. And whilst I don't think it's in for 318, we also have the upcoming ability for the Reclaimer to do the same thing, and the Reclaimer looks like it'll be very good at doing the same thing as well. So they've like added support for the co-pilots to do salvaging as well on the not so much the claw, but the ability to do the salvage and then like turn it into bricks of cargo in the Reclaimer's hold. So there could be some fun multi-crew potential there for going and playing the salvage inside a Reclaimer. What else have we got? We've got the cargo refactor. Maybe it kind of looks hit and miss as to whether that's coming in. So yeah, that's another thing that's coming in. There's the Grey Cat PTV like race circuit that was displayed in one of the inside Star Citizens not too long ago. So basically Mario Kart in Star Citizen. Although I don't think we've got like red shells and things that we can fire. That would be hilarious. So yes, there's a lot to look forward to. I just hope things don't break that much, because it felt like the release patch for 317, whilst it did come out eventually, there's the camp, let's hope we don't get shot, whilst it did come out eventually, it had so many bugs and twitchy bits that needed fixing. Oh, there's a little knock. So yeah, the patch that was eventually released to sort of fix all that, whilst most certainly not a day one patch, it did fix a lot of errors, lots of elevator deaths and things like that, and bits and pieces mainly to do with Siege of Orison and Jump Town. But yes, it was definitely needed. Let's have a quick look at what else we have in 318 on my list. Oh, of course, could I forget? There's the Security Post Korea update, which has been labelled as such, so the update for Security Post Korea, but it actually changes like the entire way that we're going to be able to devalidate our crime stats. So if we get a crime stat in the future, it doesn't sound like we're going to be able to go to any of the existing security outposts that we were able to. Like there's one on Lyria, which I tended to use quite a lot, and there's one on Hurston as well. It's like now we have to go to Korea, but there's going to be more guards, and it's going to be extremely difficult to remove a crime stat, which I suppose in the long run isn't a bad thing, because if you sort of were into the habit of doing it, it really wasn't difficult. You could basically just sprint past the NPCs, and yeah, you didn't even need to shoot any of the security NPCs, because depending on the server health, they didn't react quick enough to shoot you. So you could just go and camp in the room where the console was, clear your crime stat, and that would be that. And anyone who tried to chase you as a bounty, if they didn't know to do the same thing, which happened quite a lot, they would run in and then they would get shot by the security NPCs whilst you would get away scot-free. So, ooh, getting a bit jittery now, the controls on this thing. Come on. So, yes, it's going to be very interesting with the new crime stats system. In the long run, it's more punishing for people who do the naughty things and do them a lot. So, yes, it's going to make a very interesting way for the crime system to update for those who decide to walk down that path, you know. My god, this thing is fast. This feels so much faster than a Nox, and a Nox is supposed to be the quick one. This thing is like a rocket, although saying that, this thing feels a lot more stable than a Nox when it's going fast, like it doesn't want to pitch and roll. Like I said, this is the first time I've properly driven a hoverquad, and I don't think I'm doing too bad navigating all these rocks. I'm just waiting for that one that isn't showing out of the water, but will regardless kill me, because that's exactly what happened with the Nox when I was going back downhill. So we're going to do the uphill run, and then we'll try going back downhill to where the cutlass is. I know I'm near the top, because that's where these cliffs are. Oh my god. Another thing that's coming is rivers. So they're going to put some more rivers in game. Whether they're just going to be on Microtech and they're going to expand them a bit more, I don't know. There's the new crash site on Daymar, which looks really promising. If I remember, it's a Mercury Star Runner, and now I can't see anything because of this storm. There's a little bump and a little bump. So yeah, there's lots and lots of new stuff coming in 3.18. We just have to wait and see if we get a nice stable release date. The most important thing, of course, of 3.18 is they're calling it on the roadmap persistent entity streaming. Now I'm at the top of the hill where the river begins from this little, I assume, spring. Now I've got to go downhill and try and not crash. Yeah, they're calling it persistent entity streaming on the roadmap, and it's essentially the first iteration of server meshing. And if you've been hiding under a rock whilst people have been playing Star Citizen, server meshing is kind of the last major factor in... Oh, that's a tree. I didn't blow up there. Server meshing is the last sort of big hurdle before they can start doing real big changes to the game. And in that, I mean not so much gameplay, but as in adding locations. They need server meshing to work so that we can have independent servers, or the ability to move between... Hey, there we go! The ability to move between them more freely so that we can use things on the servers to go to Pyro and other places. Look at that, I knew I was going to explode eventually. And I didn't even clip a rock. I think I just went, the bike went underneath the surface of the water and hit the floor. So yes, server meshing is the next big thing that we need in this game to be able to do what we want to do. Oh, back to Microtech. And I'm going to have to do a character reset now to get my Chonky suit back. So yeah, server meshing is the massive hurdle that we need in this game to be able to have the expansion of new systems to visit. It's super important, and we really need it. It's something that has been mentioned over and over again to us in this game that we really need, and we've waited so long for it. So I'm really hoping that sort of over the next few months, towards the end of the year and going into next year, they really nail this, because I think once we have the ability to add more systems in and the process becomes more streamlined, and we have Pyro and we have the expansion of everything that's going on in Pyro, the warp stations, and the ability to finally use a jump gate. Hello, trolley. I don't need you, but it was nice of you to show up at the elevator anyway. Then yeah, it will really start to take off for what we can do in this game. So, enough rambling from me. I crashed and I died. I don't think I'm ever going to manage a river run going downhill. My uphill run was awesome. I managed to get all the way up at speed and not crash. We'll just do what everyone else does, and we'll toss this on the floor, and we'll throw something else on for the time being. I do actually have one of the other suits. I have the Tango suit, shall we call it, the Tango Man suit, so the orange one as well. If I can find the helmet. The only one I don't have is the black one, and I do need to pick that one up at some point, because I really like these Zeus suits. Zoot suits? Isn't a zoot a real thing? It reminds me of something. I'm not sure what, but I'm pretty sure a Zoot suit is a real thing as well. These Zeus suits are really cool and very nostalgic, and it gives me that lovely spacey game feeling that I love about Star Citizen so much, because they're like big chunky spacesuits. They feel like they should be clunky, and you know, space travel isn't meant to be easy, and you do genuinely look like you're a character in Among Us. So I'm amazed yet that there hasn't been some video made where someone's got some friends and made this crawling around inside the vents inside a Mercury Star Runner. I'm sure it's only a matter of time, but yes. So 3.18, Exploding River Run, Chonky Spacesuits. thank you so much for sticking around and subscribing. I have over 4K subscribers now. I can't thank you guys enough for sticking around and showing support, even though I haven't uploaded in a long time, and I don't tend to upload that much between patch breaks. Hopefully it might sort of, with the persistent entity streaming and the server meshing, if I manage to get onto that PTU pretty quick, then I will start bringing you more content in that regard. So, but yes, thank you very much for watching. I will see you when we get some 318 content, or maybe when we get some kind of meme content, I don't know. Maybe we'll get a new Carrick skin or something to show off, because the Carrick won the ship showdown, didn't it? We shall see. I'll see you around. Thank you for watching, everyone, and I hope you enjoyed. If you like this and think I deserve it, please give it a like, consider subbing if you fancy sticking around. If you're thinking of taking part in the game, feel free to use my referral code on screen or click the link below for bonus in-game money that helps me out as well. See you in the next one.